Right back here with Ros Gold-Onwude. Ros, of course, right now as we're recording, USA is going to take on Brazil in like the next hour or so. So we can't even really talk about that because we're not an oracle. We don't have a vision for the future. Y'all can go and listen to Jake and Dan tomorrow, who will talk about that in the quarterfinal. Now let's talk about the women instead, right? Okay. Team USA plays against a team near and dear to you. Team USA will take on the Nigerian national team tomorrow. Ros, you were once on the roster. Just from your personal experience, what is that like to play on on a national team, and then across the way, it's Team USA? Yeah.
So playing for the Nigerian national team absolutely was one of the highlights of my basketball career. It has a lot more meaning when you're playing for, you're always playing for the name on the jersey, but now you're playing for a country. You're playing for how you grew up. You're playing for the dishes that, your parents cooked for you, traditional food for, you're playing for your cousins, your family members. And I remember taking such great pride. I remember things that really stand out to me was our preparation for, trying to get to the Olympics. We played in the All Africa Games. We played in the FIBA qualifiers. We practiced in Nigeria, in Abuja. We had the chance to tour around Lagos. We played all over the continent. We were in Mozambique in the south. We were in Mali in the north. What an amazing experience, not to mention for someone like me who's mixed, whose father's Nigerian and mother's white and Eastern European. It was such a wonderful way to, be even further immersed and connected with my bloodline, with my heritage, and with my father's, side of the family. So it was a really beautiful opportunity to play for Team Nigeria. And in particular, this team makes us all very proud. This is a team that's gone through, this Nigerian national team, the women's team, has gone through a lot of adversity. And they continue to make history in the face of it. Even humbling to come to the Olympics in Paris. This team was denied access to go on the boat for the opening ceremonies. You didn't hear about this. Really, really shameful, humbling, disappointing, obviously, for these players. The opening ceremonies is one of the great, special moments of the Olympics. Yeah. They were denied access. There have also been there have been some disappointing stories that have come out of mistakes made, perhaps by the federation, that there have been some Olympians on the Nigerian side that have missed their moments or haven't been able to compete because of mistakes made. So there has been some disheveled moments, and yet in the face of that, this team continues to overcome. So they just beat Canada. I believe Canada was like the number 5 team in the nation, and their first win was, I think, Australia. Yeah. And they were, just out here. Now, that first win was the first win for a Nigerian team in 20 years. Now that they've advanced to the quarterfinal, this is the first African team, period, men's or women's, to be in the quarterfinal. So they don't just represent for Nigeria, they represent for the continent. We're very proud. This is much bigger than even just they represent something so much bigger. So we're proud already, no matter what happens.
Yeah. I can, the inflection in your voice. You know what I mean? Just let me know how serious this means and this means to you. And it's great to see that. You know what I mean? I'm sure people will hear that when they're hearing this podcast. This means something to Ros. And the Olympics are often telling the stories of people we don't often see in our sports silos because we're paying so much attention, and we just see it. And all of a sudden you hear these individual stories of, athletes in different countries for doing different things. And those are the things that's great. Now,
that's what gets me excited about the Olympics. It's meeting new stars, hearing incredible stories of perseverance. On the other side, just a quick shout out, the men's side, South Sudan has been an excellent story and a beacon of light in African basketball. And look, the NBA continues to globalize the game. You're seeing now that the top players are mostly international in the league. The NBA Africa is something that I'm heavily excited and invested in, and they're building out the game and ecosystem there. You will see powers coming out of Africa. South Sudan is one of those. It's been an incredible story, and there's more talent coming. So I'm really excited.
The international game is growing, and I think it's
Mm-hmm.
important to see. Now, I'm very curious what you think